Hey there, Soapy folks. This is Kevin with Divinely Designed, and today I'm doing a lotion video. The goal for this lotion is actually like a thick cream. I've done very light, thin lotions in the past, and this is going to be a thicker cream. Actually, I'm doing this because a friend of mine is pregnant, and she asked about something for stretch marks. So I told her I would, and sort of research and investigate it, and then try to make something for her. Well, what I found, and what I found through help from people on Facebook, really, is that there's lots of anti-stretch mark products out there that make lots of claims, but when you look at the science really behind it, for a lotion or some sort of topical application, it's really difficult for those things to penetrate the skin layers enough to affect things like collagen and elastin, which are what sort of control the stretch marks. And the stretch marks developing are really more influenced by your genetics, your hormone levels during pregnancy, and the rate at which you gain weight, and thus how quickly your skin stretches. So those factors really determine the stretch marks more so than trying to prevent them. Now, any good lotion would help, certainly moisturize your skin and just, maybe help with itching because your skin is dry, things like that. But the lotion itself, and any lotion out there, I'm talking commercial products too, is probably not going to actually help with the stretch marks. Now, there are people out there who have different opinions than me. There are some that swear by certain products and say they absolutely will prevent stretch marks. I tend to be more of a science-minded person, and I haven't really read anything out there that says, yes, we've done double-blinded studies where we can prove that this thing helps with stretch marks. Now, there's lots of different kinds of ingredients out there where they do testing and they can show that it helps with collagen or elastin or things like that, parts of your skin that actually would help with elasticity or correcting wrinkles and things like that. The individual elements themselves may have those properties, but in terms of putting them on your skin and having them penetrate to affect those things, that's where it sort of loses its effectiveness. But anyway, that all being said, I tried to make a lotion that sort of has the qualities or elements in it that would address stretch marks or wrinkles, things of that nature. So this product is, or this lotion is sort of, this cream, is sort of geared toward that. So let's go over the recipe. Remember, for a lotion, you have 3 phases. You have a water phase, you have an oil phase, and then you have a cool down phase. So in my water phase, I have 385 grams of distilled water and 7 grams of sodium lactate. I'm using sodium lactate for its barrier properties on its skin. It's believed to stimulate ceramide synthesis in the skin and increases the plasticity of our skin. And it acts, and it can help with the look of fine lines and wrinkles for the sodium lactate. In my oil phase, I have before I leave that, the 385 grams of water, that's what the recipe calls for. But because I'm doing a heat and hold method where I heat these up to 75 degrees Celsius and then hold them there for 20 minutes, there is some evaporation that occurs here in the water. So I've actually added an additional 10%, so 38 grams. Now, I've done it before where you heat it and then reweigh it and then add the other water in. It becomes really complicated because the water you want to add in, you want to heat and hold also. So someone on Facebook gave me this sort of trick where you just add 10% on top of your water amount, and so that should cover the evaporation piece. So that's what I've done. It's the water amount is 385, but to that I added an additional 38 because I've already heated it. Okay, in the oil phase we have 70 grams of e-wax, which is my emulsifier, right? The emulsifier is what makes the oils and the waters play together nice in the sandbox. I have 21 grams of cetyl alcohol. Cetyl alcohol is, I've used that because I want a thicker cream. If you were going for more of a thinner cream, you could use cetyl ester, but I'm using cetyl alcohol. Then I have 7 grams of isopropyl myristate, which is an astringent and emollient, and it helps to reduce the greasy feeling of the lotion. And it also has the benefit of helping other ingredients to penetrate into the skin easier. Then I have my butters and my oils. So I am using a combination of shea, cocoa, and kokum butter. So 25 grams of shea, 25 grams of cocoa, and 20 grams of kokum butter. Then I have 35 grams of rosehip oil and 28 grams of babassu oil. I chose the rosehip again for sort of the elasticity properties it's supposed to have. And then in my cool down phase down here I have 14 grams of green tea extract, which is supposed to be really nice for your skin. It's also an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. It helps to inhibit collagenase, the enzyme that causes degradation of collagen. What else does it do? It gives a little bit of anti-wrinkling. Okay. I also have 7 grams of vitamin E, which is acting as an antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory. And vitamin E just has wonderful properties for your skin. I have 3.5 grams of EDTA, which is a chelating agency, which helps to a chelating agent, which helps to sequester metals, so that your preservative that you use actually works more effectively. I have 28 grams of hibiscus extract, and I use the hibiscus extract because they have antioxidant properties, they inhibit elastin degradation, and they help to maintain the skin's elasticity, and thereby offer anti-aging effects. So a lot of the things I chose were for their to help elasticity. I have my preservative of 3.5 grams of Germol Plus. I use 7 grams of silk amino acids, just for their sort of silky quality they add to it. And then finally I have 14 grams of coconut endosperm, which is part of a coconut, of a young green coconut, and it is rich in proteins, amino acids, sugars, vitamins, minerals, growth factors, and it's supposed to help, again, sort of in supporting tissue growth. Okay, so those are all my phases. I've actually already heated them. I heated them to 75 degrees Celsius, the water and the oil phases, held them there for 20 minutes, and I've taken them off the heat, and so now I'm going to combine them and mix. Okay. All right. Let's give this a stir. Oh, and I should also mention that everything was spritzed with 91% alcohol and allowed to dry to make sure that I'm doing this in sort of as clean a process as I can in my kitchen here, trying to have good manufacturing practices. Now, the e-wax that I used acts as the emulsifying agent, right, which brings the water and the oils together. But you do want to use a stick blender because the blades of the stick blender will actually also provide some mechanical emulsification and sort of help to break the water and the oil up into very small pieces almost so that they can combine better. Now, I'm not putting any fragrance in this because my friend tells me she has a lot of sort of reactions to fragrances. So there's no fragrance for this this formula here, but you could certainly add a few drops of your favorite fragrance if you'd like. Okay, so let me just check the temperature. Alright, so we're right at 57 degrees Celsius. I want to bring this down below 50, somewhere between 45 and 50. So I'm going to turn the camera off just so I don't bore you, and I'm going to continue to mix and let it cool down. Okay? So stay tuned. Okay folks, that didn't take very long. It's right around 50 degrees, and it's starting to thicken up pretty much. Again, if you're using acetyl esters, acetyl esters tend to make your lotion take longer to thicken up, but cedar alcohol will make it thicken up a little faster. So you can see I'm already getting kind of big chunks in here if I scrape the sides down. So let's add my cool down phase elements and give it some more blending. Okay, now the hibiscus extract as well as the green tea extract have a color, so I fully expect this to sort of shade the lotion at least an off-white, but I've heard the hibiscus can turn things pink, so we'll see what happens here. And the hibiscus, both the hibiscus and the green tea extract have their own sort of fragrance to them. It's not strong, but both of them kind of, well, the green tea smells like green tea, sort of, but you know, green tea sort of has a little bit of a floral hint to it, and the hibiscus definitely has a little bit of a floral kind of finish to it. Neither one of them are very strong, but I'm not going to be adding any fragrance, but I kind of do think that the lotion might pick up a little bit of fragrance on its own. Okay, well, as you can see, that turned it kind of a lovely, oh, it's a little pinkish, kind of like a nude or a taupe kind of color. I'll try to get this a little bit closer to the camera here in a second. I do want to make sure I'm blending fairly well because the coconut endosperm is a powder, and it's kind of a grainy powder. So I want to make sure I'm getting that mixed in and blended as much as I can. And you can see this is really thickening up now, which is perfect because I wanted a nice thick cream. And it's funny, it looks like that color is already fading a little bit. So I expect this will thicken up even more over the next 24 hours probably. But it's already got a nice consistency. Let me check my temp just to see where I am. And we're still at 48 degrees Celsius, so it's got a ways to cool down yet. Okay, so let's see if I can get a nice picture of that color. If you can sort of see it. It's sort of, it's almost like flesh tone. Although that's a little creepy, but okay. All right, I'm gonna let this sit out for just a little bit while I clean up. I might stick blend it maybe once more. We'll see. But I'm gonna turn the video off, and so you don't have to sit here. And then I'll try and give you kind of an update when we're all done and show you how it works. Okay, so stay tuned after the break. Okay, I just wanted to show you real quick. So I'm going to put this in probably like a tub container, but I did fill up a couple of squeeze bottles. So these are from Lotion Crafters. You can see they have little squeeze bottles with caps on them. They're 45 ml, and if you buy these, you want to get the filling syringe also. You can see it has this little blue cap on it. This blue cap will fit very nicely into the containers, but it also has a larger opening so you can kind of suck up the lotion. It's a little bit messy, as you can see, but it worked very well. Okay, so let's try this. Let me clean some of this up. So this is still pretty warm, but it's nice and thick. So I think this is going to be perfect when it's all cooled thoroughly through. It's going to be a nice thick cream, which is what I was going for. So, and let me see if I have any fragrance that I can sort of pick up from it. I don't, I mean, there's a tiny hint of something there, but it's really, really light. I can't really pick up on it. So, okay. So let's give it a little try here. Ooh, it's warm. Ooh, that's nice. A nice warm lotion. Ooh, it's thick. Yes, that's perfect. Now, yeah, it goes on. It feels really good. It feels like you're putting like a nice thick layer of protection on your skin. Now this is a little bit greasier, and I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, but if you are going, lotions usually either go sort of to a powdery side or to a greasy side. And again, I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just the feel that they leave on your skin. So this is definitely one that has kind of a greasier feel to it. And it feels like it needs to be rubbed in a little bit. But that's okay. That's kind of what I was going for. Again, if my friend is going to use this for her belly, like you can also, some people say, get benefits to reduce stretch marks just by the massage factor. So you definitely want something that you're going to be rubbing in, and that feels like that. So very nice. I like it a lot, actually. Now, if I leave it, if I touch something, I'm going to leave fingerprints on it. I'm going to leave greasy fingerprints on it. So this definitely needs work. Like, you need to work it into your skin some more. So, okay, that's it. Comments, questions, leave them below. If you like this video, click on that little like button to the side there. Or if you aren't a subscriber to my channel, click on the subscribe button. Again, if you have comments or questions, leave them below. I love to hear from you guys. And let me know what you think. What do you guys think about stretch marks? Do you think there are products out there that actually can prevent them, or is it really just genetics and hormones and overall health and eating well and drinking lots of fluids and those kinds of things that affect them? What are your thoughts on it? So, okay, thanks very much, everyone. Talk to you all later.